Hey, commissions with Young Living. This is very brief for those who just want to understand it. I'm starting with the little but mighty commissions. They're called unilevel. So little, well, you'll see, little but mighty. So in order to qualify to get the unilevel commissions, what do you have to do? You have to have purchased in that particular month 100 PV. And then what happens? So then if you have people underneath you and they're at your level 1, you will get 8% commission on whatever they purchase. So, they buy 100 PV worth and you get, what's 8%? $8? 100 PV, PV, and you get $8 from that. So things like that. If you have people below them at like your level 2, then I believe the unilevel commission you would get is 5%. So it's little, right? It's not huge, but it's mighty because you have people who you have a bunch of people under you who are ordering, and when they order, if you have spent 100 PV in that particular month, then you will get these. So they end up adding up. So that's the little but mighty commissions unilevel.
The second one is what we're going to call the big commission. It's starter kit stuff. Okay, so what do you have to do to qualify? To qualify for the big commission stuff, you only need to have spent 50 PV in that particular month. Now, you spend 50 PV in a month where a friend of yours decides to become a member. Okay, so they get one of the starter kits. They get any of the starter kits except the basic one. For the basic one, you don't get one of the big commissions. But any of the other starter kits, they get a starter kit. And what you get is, it's a little complicated, but in general, you get a $50 commission when people buy a starter kit through your account, through your member number, or your sign up link, and you have spent 50 PV that month. Or if you spend it, you can spend 50 PV later in that month. But if you do those things in the same month, you get that. Now, Young Living, when you look at it, they divide it two different ways. You get a $25, I can write. You get a $25 like commission on the starter kit, and then officially they say is 25% of what you get of whatever the person purchased. So usually they get a starter kit. A starter kit, although it costs $165 or $145 or $125, it's only 100 PV. It only counts as 100 PV, and the 25% is on the PV. So this is all the complicated stuff, but the number right here is you get about $50. So that is the big commission starter. Now, what happens if there's someone who used to be a member and they find you and they're inactive and they they reactivate their account under you, which they can do a variety of ways. Message me if you need that information. Because for some of you, I know this has happened. So when they reactivate, I don't believe that you get the big commission. I believe that you'll get the unilevel commissions. Those were the littler ones, the little but mighty commissions on what they purchase. So reactivation of a friend through your member number is different than creating a new account and getting a starter kit stuff. Thing I should probably tell you is what I'm going to call the 3-month thing. There's another name for it officially in Young Living, but I don't remember what it is. What it is when a new person gets a starter kit. So starter kit. When one of your buddies gets, enrolls through you, and you have spent your 100 PV for that month. So remember how I said that there's a 25% thing, so you end up getting $50 that first month? Well, for the next 3 months, for the next 2 months after that, so that's month 1. That's month 1 is their 100 PV or their 25. For month 2 and month 3, if you spend 100 PV in those months, I think it's 100 PV, in those months, and if they buy something, you will actually get 25% instead of the Unilevel little one. For the first 3 months of them being a member, you will get that. So if they buy on July 25th, if they buy the starter kit on July 25th, you get that first $50 thing. And then if they purchase anytime July, August, and September, if they happen to purchase in those months, maybe they get $100 or 100 PV in that first month, and maybe they get 100 PV in the second month. I'm just throwing that out there because I can do the math better on hundreds. Then you will actually get $25 in those 2 months. And then after that, it goes down to the Unilevel, which is just the 8%. So starting in month 4, it goes down to the Unilevel. But remember Unilevel and this 25 thing, you have to have spent 100 PV in these months, I think. Maybe it's just 50 PV, so check back with me.
I looked into it. Our understanding is the 3-month thing, in order to get that 25%, the first month you only have to spend 50 PV in order to get that 25%. That's the month that they buy their starter kit in. The second and the third month, you have to spend 100 PV in order to get the 25%. So do the math for yourself or contact me and I'll let you know if it's worth it. If you are already spending that much, then you're already spending that much. Like, don't worry about it. You qualify for all the commissions already.